What you call the world is a magnificent reflection in a mirror that isn't there. You see trees, sky and people, believing them to be solid and real. But this is a play of consciousness, a film of flickering light, vivid, yet without substance. The world demands your attention, but it possesses no independent reality. Even the sense of being a self, the I inside the body, is part of the same illusion. This self is not a solid entity, but a ripple in awareness, a thought referring to other thoughts. The seer and the seen arise together, inseparable, like two sides of an imaginary coin. There is no fundamental separation between observer and observed. The feeling of being a person looking at a world is just a story, a habit of thought. In truth, there is only the seamless, edgeless happening of what is, not happening to you, but as you. When this is seen directly, the search for meaning and security dissolves. You are not a lonely fragment, nor a puppet or puppet master. You are the entire play, the light, the screen, and the story, yet none of them. The world and the self are reflections, endlessly reflecting each other. In this groundlessness there is absolute freedom. From Mengistu Fentie's perspective, the world is like these endless dunes, shifting, vast, and ever-changing. The illusion of a continuous self is woven from time, space, and conditioning. Time is memory and anticipation. The past is echoes, the future is projections. The present, where life happens, is overlooked in the rush from what was to what will be. Space creates the illusion of separation. I am here, the world is out there. This sense of containment is learned, not actual. The space between you and the tree is the field in which both appear. Conditioning completes the illusion. You're given a name, beliefs, and a story. These layers create a seemingly solid identity, but it's just a program running automatically. The self is not something you live, it's something you've learned. A construct pieced from memory and habit. It feels real because it's reinforced by every thought and interaction. But it's a ghost in the machine, a persistent narrative with no author. When you question time, space, and conditioning, the self becomes transparent, a beautiful pattern with no one inside. Consider a nightly dream. While in it, the world feels real, but upon waking, it's seen as a fleeting fabrication. The waking world is not so different, it's a more persistent, shared dream. In dreams you feel like a distinct entity, but the dream self is just another appearance. There is no real dreamer, only the activity of dreaming. The dreamer and the dream are one phenomenon, inseparable and equally unreal. This applies to waking life. The ego is a character within the waking dream, not the source of awareness. The thinker is a thought, the feeler a feeling, the experiencer part of the experience. You are not the dreamer of this dream, but a figure in it, believing you are its author. The dream and dreamer arise and dissolve together, two aspects of a single movement. There is no one who dreams, only dreaming, no one who lives, only living. Searching for the true dreamer is like a character in a novel, searching for the author within the pages. The answer isn't in the story. Both dream and dreamer are appearances, echoes of an echo with no one there to hear them. The sense of a doer is the central illusion. Seeing this, the search for a real self falls away. We think in terms of cause and effect, creator and creation. But this framework is part of the illusion, a story to explain what cannot be explained. The universe is not a product but a process, an uncaused, continuous unfolding. Creator and creation arise together, not as separate entities. The idea of a creator God is a projection of our own sense of separateness. There is no external agent, no puppet master. The universe is a spontaneous, self-generating dance. Movement without a mover, a song without a singer. Every form is a temporary pattern in this endless flow, arising from nothing and dissolving back. There is no source or destination, just ceaseless expression. Letting go of the need for a creator, you see the world anew, a mystery to be lived, not a problem to solve. The pressure to understand and control falls away. You are not a result, but the process itself. The creative principle is not separate from you, it appears as you. We imagine intelligence as a force or entity, God, consciousness, a universal mind. But this is another illusion, an attempt to name the formless. The intelligence behind worlds is not an entity or absence, but a silent hum with no source. It is the potential for appearance, itself an appearance. Not a thing to be found, but the emptiness that allows form. It does not direct or control, patterns arise spontaneously. The mind wants to objectify it, but it is the very intelligence looking, without a looker. It is knowing without a knower, a non-existent echo creating the illusion of a listener. The foundation of everything is nothing at all. There is nothing to attain, no higher state to reach, no universal mind to merge with. The search is based on the illusion of a separate self. When the search stops, the vibrant, creative nothingness is apparent. It is the intelligence that never was, endlessly dreaming what is. Identity is an active process of self-reinforcement. The illusion of a separate self builds a world around itself through memory and expectation. The ego's favorite story is its own autobiography, curating memories to create continuity. Simultaneously, it projects into the future, creating goals and fears. The present becomes a bridge between past and future, rarely inhabited. Every experience is claimed by the ego, reinforcing the boundary between observer and observed. Identity feeds on experience, turning life into personal possessions. This self-reinforcing loop is the prison of the separate self, a house of mirrors. The story validates the identity, and the identity creates the story. Freedom isn't building a better identity but seeing the mechanism for what it is. When you stop feeding the story, the ghost loses its power. The house of mirrors dissolves. As the layers of illusion dissolve, a final unveiling occurs. You might expect to find a true self or pure awareness behind it all, but the final revelation is more radical. There is nothing behind the appearances. No hidden observer, no soul, no core consciousness. The search for the real was part of the dream, the last trick of the ego. There is no center, no beginning, no end. The dissolution of appearances reveals the non-occurrence of the appearance itself. What remains is what never was, a vibrant, uncaused freedom. All frameworks and dualities collapse. There is no world, no absence of world, no self, no no-self. Even enlightenment dissolves into this. It is the end of the search because it is the end of the seeker. The world is seen as the mirage it always was. There is only this, ungraspable, perfectly empty fullness happening to no one.